explore the moon and develop the moon. We should go boldly where man has not gone before. Fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there? Well, the universe put...
Who put that there?
This is the monolith. There's actually several, and there's a few pictures of each. But just want you people to soak this up. That's a big thing. Here's another one. This is the one I think he was talking about at the time of that film, because we've uncovered a few. There's at least one on Mars, and there's several on Phobos. You're seeing a little bit of a digital enhancement on the bottom where they curved it and tried to make it look 3D. The top two left pictures, those are the actual straight-up photos. Clearly it's some big thing stuck into the ground, and we should check it out. I'm not saying I know what it is, but maybe it is in golden proportion, but it sure looks like something weird that should be investigated with pretty high priority. Yeah. Now let's go. There's a follow-up. I know there's Alex Jones' show clip featuring Buzz Aldrin again, talking about it.
Space Odyssey, we have this, what looks like almost a perfect monolith on this moon. And then here you are, one of the first moonwalkers. When the Eagle lands, you're on television saying we need to go there to see this monolith. You're saying it's very curious. And again, I saw your eyes light up on television. What is your gut this monolith is, or what are Marsologists saying it could be?
My opinion and the Marsologists' opinion don't guide public opinion and curiosity for the unusual and the bizarre. We need lots and lots of public discussion about the pros and cons of going anywhere.
No, I mean, certainly it's a way to get people interested. I see that. But okay. What do you think this is? I mean, tell me what your gut, or as a person, a doctor who studies this, what does this look like to you?
It's a big, tall rock. Now, I can say it looks like maybe a crude construction device by some creatures who practiced on Phobos and then landed in Egypt and built the pyramid. Creatures who practiced on Phobos and then landed in Egypt and built the pyramid. And we just might find indications of a very crude form of life that might have arisen at Mars and then been transported to Earth. So it might be the beginnings of life on Earth that thrived, whereas it died out on Mars.
Are you saying we might be Martians?
Well, we're a long evolution away. I don't believe that means that there were rocket ships somehow that left Mars and landed here on Earth. And
but meteor impacts, you're saying, which we know send Martian rock here, could have brought it?
Yeah.
Let me ask you in this way. What do you believe the destiny of humanity is? Because a lot of people feel like this species is far older than we even know. What do you believe man's destiny will be if we have the vision to go off-world? I mean, in a big way.
Well, I think sooner or later the Earth is just liable to be impacted by something that we, as humans, with all our technology, could not prevent.
Okay, there you hear it. That's the second man to ever walk on the moon. Buzz Aldrin, a great man. I'd love to meet him sometime. And he's just being honest. He cannot help but be honest. That's what's happening.
What was his name? Buzz Lightyear?
Buzz Aldrin.
Oh, Buzz Aldrin.
No, but
it's interesting stuff.
You know, Edgar Mitchell, Dr. Edgar Mitchell is another astronaut moonwalker who's upfront about this kind of stuff. Guys like Neil Armstrong are not going to talk as part of the deal. The people, they've all seen a lot of stuff up there. We're going to show you some of it. Let's go to video 2.5, Buzz Aldrin and his UFO of Apollo 11.
But 3 days and 200,000 miles into the flight, Mission Control did miss the significance of a cryptic message from the astronauts.
Do you have any idea where the S4B is with respect to us? Stand by.
The crew required information on the current position of the S4B, the final stage of the rocket which had been jettisoned away 2 days earlier. This short message hit an extraordinary turn of events. Apollo 11 wasn't alone in space.
There was something out there that was close enough to be observed, and what could it be?
Traveling alongside Apollo 11 was a mysterious object, like this one filmed on a later mission. If the object wasn't part of Apollo's rocket, it could be only one thing: a UFO.
Mike decided he thought he could see it in the telescope, and he was able to do that. And when it was in one position, that it had a series of ellipses. But when you made it real sharp, it was sort of L-shaped. That didn't tell us very much.
NASA knew very little about the object reported by the Apollo 11 crew. It was obviously an unidentified flying object, but such objects were not uncommon, and the history of even Earth orbit space flights going back over the previous years indicated that several crews saw objects.
Despite having a clear view of the UFO, the crew were wary of reporting it to Mission Control.
Now, obviously, the three of us were not going to blurt out, "Hey, Houston, we got something moving alongside of us, and we don't know what it is. You know, can you tell us what it is?" We weren't about to do that, because we know that those transmissions would be heard by all sorts of people, and who knows what somebody would have demanded that we turn back because of aliens or whatever the reason is. So we didn't do that, but we did decide we just cautiously ask Houston, how far away was the S4B?
Unaware of the drama unfolding in space, Mission Control radioed the position back to Apollo 11.
Apollo 11, Houston, the S4B is about 6,000 nautical miles from you now, over.
And a few moments later, they came back and said something like it was 6,000 miles away because of the maneuver. So we really didn't think we were looking at something that far away. So we decided that after a while of watching it, it was time to go to sleep and not to talk about it anymore until we came back and debriefing.
To this day, whatever it was the crew saw has never been positively identified or officially acknowledged.
Okay, there you have it. Just Buzz Aldrin being honest, and clearly a case of a UFO that he's describing, and apparently a large one. We're going to now turn to some smaller ones. All of this is NASA footage. Some of it, if you have green images, that's infrared camera. And of course, the bright color stuff is old film, 16 millimeter film from Apollo. Let's take a look at 3.1. This we saw last week. This is a little longer sequence. Just want you to see, this is supposedly debris flying around. And is that the whole clip?
Oh, yeah. This is a slow one.
Here's the next, is this the 3.2?
Yeah.
Here, this might be a little bit too slow for us, but as it gets down there.
You can see some stuff.
Yeah. I just want you people just to kind of get a feel for this. Look at these things, look at their trajectories. Some of them reverse direction, some of them accelerate up in the upper right. You saw that one take off. You have the bottom one just change direction. They have the big hook coming in. Or did we already see that?
Look like a piece of metal there.
That one just turned, and can we replay this one, please? Mm-hmm. I zoomed in on this myself. Now, zooming in, it changes direction, okay? That's not normal. Nothing's explaining that.
Right.
And I've heard some guys on some show say something like a rocket thruster zoomed out there and pushed it. But no, those are clear. That's what a UFO is. It's something that you cannot explain. It's clearly intelligent. Not that it wrote a sonnet or anything, but it's doing maneuvers that a moth is not. No moth could fly like that in space. Let us go to the next one, please. 3.4. This is an interesting piece. We need to block out that text. Yeah, we want. There's the legitimate debris, I'm sure, right there, shooting around. The rocket takes off. That's the third stage of a unmanned Apollo 3, I believe this was.
Wow.
But in this barrel, some flashes. That's probably just from the age of the film. But you're going to see various moving dots. And then this is long after the thrusters have gone and the vehicle is gone. And I'll zoom in on a few of these that I noticed. But just a very high res. You saw something shoot across just then. We're going to zoom in on 3 items that all occur within this. Of course, this is slowed down quite a bit. And
Now this thing is making its re-entry, right?
well, this, yeah, it's turning and it will slowly come back in. This is the spent. It's the first stage. Actually, it's a Saturn 1B rocket, a smaller size. It didn't have a third stage. It was the second stage actually that you were seeing there. But it's analogous to the first stage of a Saturn V. But here we go. We're going to zoom in now. Now look at this little white thing. Come whipping down there. See it? And zooming back up.
Whoa.
What's up with that? Okay. There's another one over here.
Looks like an orb.
Right. We're going to go to the right side. Watch this thing slide out and accelerate and extended itself. It actually got longer. And here's a strange thing that I've seen in some other films. This like a collection of little sparkly things that seem to be one unit. See how they're kind of dancing around? They're going to be there going at it for a few seconds longer. See, they're just hiding on the edge. We're looking out of the spent first stage of a Saturn I booster in Earth orbit. And you have what we're supposed to believe is dust and ice particles kind of dancing, getting to know each other, twisting and turning, sparkling. And then the ejection of the camera is that moving forward that you see.
What is your feeling? What do you have any ideas what that is?
I have no feelings. I am completely numb. Next one, baby. You people ain't seen nothing
Seems
yet.
to defy gravity.
Let's go to the
Or
lunar
lack
module.
of gravity.
This is the lunar module. I put this together myself. I studied this shaky clip, and I've since come across a higher resolution one. But let's rewind that, please. I want you people to look at these things moving around in a torrent of wind, like as if the AC is on. Maybe they did have a fan in there. I got to check it out. But these seem to be the same types of objects. Here's a zoom in again on the earlier clip. There's going to be a hook coming through. See that sky hook? Look, you're zooming in, and there's no explanation for that. That's not part of a rocket. What the heck's going on here? Oh, there's a piece of styrofoam. Apollo 10 just went by. No explanation for that. You're going to see from the lower left a white object get tossed and fall down into oh no, this is different. This is going to be a big crater. Somebody else put this together. I got this from, this is just beautiful. And the person who put this clip together was thinking that there's a pyramid shape there. That's kind of funny, but I just thought it was beautiful. I'm not one to believe in the face on Mars or pyramids there, so let's get that clear. But within this crater, you'll see here, it looks like a sphere. Luna Cognita, courtesy, thank you for their tapes. We got some music on this. Here's the infrared orbs that are famous from the space shuttle missions.
Yeah, I've seen this before. This is pretty wild.
You saw that one there just came to a stop and changed direction completely. You'll see things appear, zigzag. Very much analogous to the so-called ghost orbs that people get in infrared also in their homes. Here's another view in orbit. We have something's going up here. And again, when you see these shapes curving or changing trajectories, that's inexplicable. And then
Where is this footage from?
in orbit, I'm not quite sure exactly what part of the Earth, but reasonably low orbit.
Who took it?
The United States, space shuttles. These are
Space shuttle.
These are all from space
Okay.
shuttle missions. No, they no longer transmit. You want to get a vocal on that? Because when they say tally ho, that means UFO. And the announcers are always trying to. Now look at that. Every one of those none of those dots is a star. I hate to tell you.